Ever wondered how many panes of glass there are here at the Britannia Mine Museum? Go ahead, take a guess today on The Express. Coming up, a new art exhibit mines out the past and present.
There was this incredible sacrifice that the miners made when they dedicated themselves to this kind of work.
Clients booked all day, right?
Then get the ink on body art.
We did improvements all the way along the creek here.
And the wizardry of trail building in Squamish.
When a trail is built properly, people have a more enjoyable experience.
Go on, express yourself on today's show. Welcome to The Express on Shaw TV. I'm your Sea to Sky host, Nicole Fitzgerald. So how many panes of glass are on the Britannia Mine Museum? The answer, 1,800. Give or take a few. History isn't exactly a precise science. It's a story. But before we get into his story, we're going to start with her story. Patricia Chauncey, an extreme textile artist who isn't afraid to dig deep and get her hands dirty.
Wandered down to the So I just love that up there, and I just really noticed the decay here. See, at that point, looking in the mine, the textures are extraordinary, and I play with texture, and I'm very inspired by the natural world.
The rust, the colors, the light, and the darkness. Artist Patricia Chauncey lets this experience of the Britannia Mine Museum's historic underground tunnel fill her senses. In decay, she sees beauty. In sharpened time, transformation. And from these dark, dank tunnels, she hears the distant voices of miners, now only ghosts from nearly a century ago.
I went through the tunnels a few times, and one of the things that happened for me in the mine is I just became so aware of our connection to this hole in the ground and to the history of the people who had worked there.
This connection is why Patricia was only too eager to take up curator Christina Eggide's call to create an art exhibit entitled Unearthed for the Britannia Mine Museum. The daughter of a miner, working with rocks and minerals has always had a place in Patricia's heart.
The museum and the museum's director, particularly Kristen Clausen, are very innovative in their approach as to how to find ways to connect the public with ways of experiencing the museum and its history. This historic machine shop, we actually were recognized as one of the most unique venues for presenting art in the Vancouver Sun's Best of for 1 year.
The art is as unique as its showcase. Patricia's materials like industrial felt, paint and stitching come together as storytellers. It takes us back in time to see what mine lichen may look like or how a pebble wall may feel. She calls this process extreme textiles art, a medium she has displayed at the Seymour, Quesnel and Wells art galleries.
You can take an ordinary piece of fabric and you can burn it, you can pound it, you can rip it, you can tear it, you can bury it in the ground, and it becomes something else. One of the things I did for this show is I considered copper and thought about the metals and buried some of the work actually with metals that continued to rust while they were on the fabric. So the rust itself became a dye. The copper became a dye.
This process embodies the journey of the mine itself.
The mine is in a constant state of change. As you go through the mine, you hear the water that's flowing everywhere. And the machinery is affected by the water and affected by the earth. The way that people have survived and lived in that dark, kind of dank environment, for me was incredibly moving, but obviously it changed them.
The Britannia Mine not only influenced the past, but the future as well.
I think the most important thing for me is I realized that there was this incredible sacrifice that the miners made when they dedicated themselves to this kind of work. And they had this life that they lived that was half underground. And I was so touched by the sense of them being in that mine and what that meant.
Faces long gone, but forever marked present through the timelessness of art. You've got to see her artwork up close and personal. Patricia's exhibit is on display until November 5th here at the Britannia Mine Museum. The art exhibit is included with museum admission. From art on the wall to art on our bodies, nearly 2 in 10 Canadians have tattoos. It's a very popular thing, so much so that there really isn't a stereotype anymore. Meet a few tattoo toters who are breaking that mold.
I started tattooing in 1984. Just wanted to do something hands-on, and always liked tattoos. Just started tattooing, and moved up to Abbotsford, and we opened up here in 1992, and just been going full bore ever since. Yeah, just been crazy. Most of my clients are booked all day, right? So I love it. I look forward to coming to work every day. Yeah, just a blast. Love being here.
Brian's been tattooing for 27 years, and he's worked with a number of different people, but his longest-running coworker is his wife.
We've been married for 24 years and worked together every day, and we're still together. Yeah, work together, live together. Yeah.
We're like a unique miracle couple here because we have not only been married for 23 years, but we have, we've lived together and we have worked side by side together every step of the way.
I think you did this house leave in probably 2.5 hours.
Yeah, it didn't take too long. Once you get going at it, and this one here, it's a little bit harder because of the, it's so awkward to get at, right, for both of us. So get to meet lots of interesting people and do artwork every day, and something different every day.
First tattoo came with my daughter. I got enthusiastic about hers, and so she bought one for me. And I was 75 then. And then the next year I got the wizard because he had to kind of control the dragon. And last June, on my 80th birthday, Terry got me the dragonfly.
And despite her age, June says she's still not done with tattoos.
Oh, I would like another one, yes. I'm, as you can tell, very fond of leopards, and I would like to have a little leopard on my shoulder.
It's Gurminder Kang's first tattoo, and he's being honest and says it's not the best feeling in the world.
It's all right. It was pretty painful, though. I don't know. It was a lot of pain. Some parts hurt more than the other.
Brian remembers his first tattoo, and for him, it changed his life and shaped his career.
My first tattoo, I kind of did like a lot of people used to do, is go through the phone book and get the first guy that could fit you in that day. And then I went in and I asked for an eagle, and that actually started me thinking, if this guy can do this, then I can do it, because I was an artist and I could, drew a lot like since I was a kid. Yeah, so that's what started me.
Some people might think that Brian has a bit of a strange job, but he can't imagine doing anything else.
Some people go out and fish. I come here and tattoo, right? It's this is my thing. I don't know. I probably got a good 15 years in me. So, but even then, I'll just probably build a house with a tattoo shop in the back and tattoo my friends still.
I'm Peter Verge in Abbotsford for The Express.
Most men prefer to get their tattoos on their arms, whereas women prefer their backs. The Britannia Mining Museum is a hands-on, authentic experience. Kids can explore everything from panning for gold, exploring the mineral gallery, or even reading up on the community that lived here in the 1900s. It was completely self-contained. They had tennis courts, baseball fields, and even a bowling alley. There's more learning coming up. Stay tuned. Next up, composting.
And in go the coffee grounds.
After the break,
paper towels, banana peels.
Composting at work.
The composting can have a huge effect on overall office waste.
The dirt has been washed away.
And hit the trails for mountains of adventures with Ted Tempany.
When a trail is built properly, people have a more enjoyable experience.
Community programming on Shaw has been generously sponsored in part by...
The Express is brought to you in part by Plum, fashion supplier to host Johanna Ward.